So far, we have had affordable EVs from mainstream car makers that make for a good secondary car. But this right here, well, this could be your primary car. The only car that you may ever need to own. Let me show you what I mean. This is the Kia Carens Clavis EV. Now, it isn't too flashy like the BA6, nor is it too plain and simple like the Creta Electric or the MG ZS EV. The Clavis EV seems like it has the right amount of flair and sensibilities at the same time. It's for those who want an electric family car with up to 7 seats, lots of space, lots of storage options, and of course, a good enough driving range. All of that is in theory up until this point. The real question though is, how does the Carens Clavis EV fare in the real world? Also, how different is it from a petrol or a diesel powered Clavis or even the Creta Electric, which more or less has the same EV powertrain? Let's break it all down. My name is Sagar and you're watching CarWale. At first glance, the Clavis EV may look a lot like the petrol or the diesel-powered model. You still get the same MPV-like profile with an upright stance, a large glass area, and a flat tailgate. It is basically everything that people love, and that's a good thing by Kia India. But they haven't just taken the ICE Carens Clavis and slapped a battery underneath. The front is where you will notice the biggest changes. There is no traditional grille here. Instead, you get this flat aerodynamic panel. Now, what's unique to this car is the active air flaps, which open at times to cool down the internals or for better thermal efficiency. Of course, you also get this light bar that runs across the width of the car, and this is the charging flap. This is where you plug in to charge the car. As for the rest of the design, well, it's pretty much like the ICE Clavis. I mean, you look at the headlights, the fog lights, and the shape of the bumper, well, it's all the same. Both cars look nearly the same from the side, although the EV differentiates itself through functional design changes to improve efficiency. It's mainly these aero wheels with the unique design. Now, this design, it helps in reducing drag. It makes the wheel more aerodynamic so that you eventually get more range per charge. That's pretty much it when it comes to the difference in the design. You get a different EV badge at the back, but overall, it's a nice and clean design that doesn't scream for attention. Inside, it's a similar story. The look and feel of this cabin is more or less like the ICE Clavis, which means you get the same dashboard along with a pair of 12.3-inch screens, one for the infotainment system and the other one for the digital driver's display. There are of course some differences between the two cars. Now, the ICE version gets a traditional gear lever that's built into the center console, but here, instead of a gear lever, you now get a floating center console because the gear selector has been moved to the steering column. This, I think, not only looks cool, but it also frees up a lot of space. You get additional storage beneath it and also a sliding cover. Well, this bit of design, I really think it gives this cabin a very EV-like vibe and look to it. The other major difference here is that this car only comes as a 7-seater with the bench seat for the second row. You don't get a 6-seater option with the captain seats that you get in the ICE version. As for the interior colors, depending on the variant, you can choose between black and beige or this, which is a navy blue and beige dual tone finish with leatherette and fabric upholstery. Like the ICE version, the Clavis EV is big on practicality and storage options. For starters, you get 216 liters of boot space with the third row in place, and that, I think, is more than what the competition offers. And if that isn't enough, this car also gets a frunk, which is basically additional storage under the bonnet. Now, this thing is rated at 25 liters, which isn't all that much, but it is enough to store this car's charging cable, a puncture repair kit, or even a small backpack. Since the gear lever is no longer here, this entire center column is replaced by this floating center console, which comes with built-in cup holders. Like you can see over here, it also comes with a lot of storage underneath, and you also get a padded armrest. Other bits include bottle holders in the doors and a seat back foldable table in the second row. Even third row occupants get some usable storage spaces for themselves. As for the features, like all Kia models, the Carens Clavis EV is loaded to the roof. Here are all the headlining features that you get in the top spec version. A panoramic sunroof, two-way control panel for infotainment and AC controls, dual digital screens, level 2 ADAS, 64 color ambient lighting, electrically adjustable driver's seat, electronic parking brake with auto hold, ventilated front seats, multiple drive modes, and an 8-speaker Bose audio system. Now let's take a look at features that are specific to this EV version. First of all, you get active air flaps to improve aerodynamics and thermal efficiency, paddle shifters to control region braking, V12 capability, and a drive-by-wire gear selector on the steering column. Finally, the graphics within the driver's display have also been redesigned for this EV version. For the amount of space, versatility, and the features that the second row gets, the Clavis EV is genuinely impressive. For under 25 lakh rupees, this is one of the most spacious cars that you can buy. There's more than enough legroom and headroom for someone my size, and even anyone taller than me would find this cabin to be very comfortable thanks to the flat floor and the sheer volume of this cabin. I can slide and recline this seat to be more comfortable, or if I want to free up more space for the rear passengers. The roof-mounted AC works well. Kia has added sunblinds, and you also get a foldable tray table and an air purifier. What's missing though is a cooling function for the rear seats, which I think would have been really useful during Indian summers. The Clavis EV doesn't get a 6-seater configuration either, which means you have to make do with this bench seat for the 7-seater version. It's nice and comfortable, but I don't think it looks as special as having captain chairs in the second row. Now the third row is surprisingly spacious. Now you can use this seat for adults for short journeys, whereas the kids can be here for road trips. I also have a good amount of foot space under the second row seat to find that more comfortable posture. And like the second row seating, I can also recline this backrest to be more comfortable. However, it's not all perfect. For starters, the shoulder room is quite limited, and the seat base also is very short, so you're never going to be as comfortable as the second row occupants. The Carens Clavis EV is powered by a single electric motor on the front axle, delivering 170 bhp and 255 Nm of torque. It's not blistering fast, but it's quick off the line and offers a smooth, linear power delivery that's perfect for city driving and occasional highway runs. We are driving the long-range model here, which comes with a 51.4 kWh battery pack. The ARAI certified range is 490 km, although in the real world, you're looking at around 370 km, which is more than sufficient for daily use. Charging is taken care of via an 11 kW onboard charger for home use and DC fast charging capability up to 100 kW, which can charge the battery from 10 to 80% in under 40 minutes. The driving experience of the ICE Clavis and this electric version, well, it's poles apart. Now, the ICE Clavis, of course, it feels more traditional and more involving to drive, whereas the refinement and the seamless power delivery of this electric version is hard to beat. The Clavis EV really shines when it comes to ease of use, especially in the city. The electric motor gives you instant torque, so the moment you press the accelerator, the car just moves. No delay, no fuss. And because there's no engine noise coming from the front, the cabin remains quiet and refined, which makes the entire driving experience feel very calm and relaxed. Another thing that stands out is how light and easy everything feels. The steering is light, the controls are smooth, and the visibility is excellent from the driver's seat. Plus, you get one pedal driving function, which basically means you can accelerate, slow down, and even come to a stop using just the throttle pedal. Now, this may feel weird at first and it requires some getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, then this one pedal setup is really convenient, especially in the city when you're in traffic. Now let's talk about the ride quality. The suspension is set up on the softer side, so it does a good job of soaking up bumps and rough patches. Speed breakers, potholes, uneven roads, it takes them all nicely. What isn't so nice is the amount of wind noise and road noise that creeps into the cabin. Sure, it's okay and you don't feel it as much when you are driving in the city doing city speeds, say 60 kilometers per hour or below, but once you hit the highways like we have here right now, you can feel the wind properly hitting the car and also the tires humming away. So overall, the Clavis EV is super nice and quite usable if you're going to be using it majority of the time in the city. If your usage involves you driving in traffic or just commuting from one place to the other within a city, then this car makes a lot of sense. It is quiet, it is refined, it is quite comfortable, and you will get a decent range out of it. Just don't expect this car to be super quiet and refined when you take it on a long road trip, especially if the road trip involves only the national highways. The biggest difference between the two cars comes in the form of charging and refueling. Of course, the ICE Clavis can be fueled in 5 minutes and taken on a long road trip, whereas the EV requires some planning if you're heading out of town. After all, our charging infrastructure is still far from where it ideally needs to be. More than the ICE Clavis, I think it's the Creta Electric that's going to make things difficult for this car. Now both the Clavis EV and the Creta Electric are priced exactly the same. The starting price is around 18 lakhs ex-showroom for both and they both top out at just about 24 lakhs. But despite their identical price tags, these two EVs are targeted towards different buyers. The Clavis EV is for a more practical, family-oriented buyer, someone who specifically wants a 7-seater electric car, someone who prioritizes space and versatility over looks or driving feel. The Clavis EV is for those who have been using smaller MPVs or compact crossovers like the Sonnet, the Venue, or even the Nexon and are now looking for a large EV. On the other hand, the Creta Electric is for the style conscious who comes from a relatively younger demographic as compared to the Clavis EV buyer. They are looking for an electric SUV with some road presence and driving feel. It's for those who are moving up from sedans or hatchbacks. It's people who want a lifestyle upgrade. At the end of the day, it's utility versus desirability. You might as well choose what resonates with your lifestyle more. The Carens Clavis EV makes a very strong case for itself. It's not futuristic or flashy just for the sake of it. Instead, it builds on a formula that already works, that is the ICE Clavis. And it gives it a new direction with the pros and cons of electric motoring. It's practical, it's comfortable, it's good to drive, and even sensibly priced. Although not without its limitations, this car right here is still one of the most well-rounded EVs that you can buy for less than 25 lakh rupees.